Rebel forces in Syria have intensified their offensive, pressing forward with renewed determination in several key regions. In a bold move, they have launched a fresh wave of attacks on Hama, targeting strategic positions to challenge government control. It seems that Syrian rebels are having 3 active attack thrusts against Hama city. They took the air defense position near Madba and are closing in against the regional capital from northeast. The United States has entered the fray with decisive force, launching airstrikes against Iranian-backed positions in Syria's Deir ez-Zor province. The attacks, targeting key military infrastructure and supply depots, mark a significant escalation in the region. U.S. officials have stated the strikes are a direct response to threats against American forces and interests in the area. This show of strength underscores Washington's commitment to countering Iranian influence in Syria, further complicating an already volatile battlefield. This is a close air support by U.S. planes against Iranian and Assad positions in the Qasham pocket. It seems to be an A-10 pounding the elevated positions overlooking this area. Clearly, A-10 Warthogs are strafing the Iranian positions in the Qasham pocket, using their famous 30mm Gatling autocannon. Iran is directly controlling the western part of the Euphrates River in this sector, while SDF forces control the eastern portion. And in the morning, U.S.-backed SDF forces launched an operation against Iranian forces in the Qasham pocket. And the situation here is tense. Last night, U.S. forces destroyed numerous Iranian troops in Mayadeen, some 30 kilometers south of the pocket. There are indicators that Iran was less concerned about what was happening in Aleppo and more in this region. There are ongoing rumors that SDF forces might move into this patch of land, the only area of the eastern Euphrates bank under Iranian control. Back in 2018, the Qasham pocket was the site of a standoff between Russian Wagner forces and US-backed SDF rebels. Wagner mercenaries intended to take over the rich hydrocarbon resources in this area and launched an offensive, but the US Air Force and artillery blew the Russian battalion within minutes to absolute bits and destroyed around 200 Russian soldiers. Syrian rebels reached Kalat al-Madik and Kurnaz, Hama province, and by doing so, re-established the old line of contact from the year 2016. The capture of Hama province by rebel forces would pose a significant strategic and political threat to the Syrian regime, potentially altering the course of the conflict. Hama holds a central position in Syria, serving as a critical link between Damascus, the capital, and other regime strongholds such as Aleppo and the coastal provinces of Latakia and Tartus. If the rebels seize Hama, they could disrupt vital supply lines and weaken the regime's ability to maintain control over these areas. Hama is also symbolically significant. Historically, it has been a center of resistance against the Assad family, dating back to the infamous 1982 Hama massacre under Hafez al-Assad. Losing control of this province would deal a severe blow to the regime's image of dominance, emboldening opposition forces across the country and potentially inspiring uprisings in other contested areas. Militarily, a rebel victory in Hama could open up new fronts against regime forces, stretching their already thin resources. It could also provide the opposition with access to additional weaponry, supplies, and strategic locations, further tipping the balance of power. Moreover, Hama's proximity to Idlib, a major rebel stronghold, would allow opposition forces to consolidate their territories, creating a continuous zone of control in northwestern Syria. For the regime's allies, such as Iran and Russia, a loss in Hama would signal a need for increased intervention, potentially escalating the conflict. This could strain their resources and further entangle them in a war with no clear end. Additionally, it might embolden international actors opposing the regime to step up their support for the rebels. Politically, losing Hama could fracture the regime's remaining support base and expose the fragility of its control. The psychological impact on pro-government forces could lead to defections and a decline in morale, undermining the regime's ability to mount effective counteroffensives. This, combined with the potential loss of economic resources and infrastructure, would deal a severe blow to the Assad government's already tenuous grip on power. And Russian planes are doing what they know best, bombing Christian neighborhood of Suleymania in Aleppo city. Russian forces have been repeatedly accused of committing atrocities against civilians in Syria, exacerbating the humanitarian crisis in the war-torn country. Through relentless airstrikes, they have targeted hospitals, schools, markets, and residential areas, often under the pretext of combating terrorism. These attacks have resulted in the deaths of thousands of innocent civilians and displaced countless others, leaving entire communities devastated. The use of cluster munitions and incendiary weapons, banned under international law in civilian-populated areas, has been widely documented, adding to the indiscriminate nature of these strikes. Human rights organizations have also reported systematic destruction of infrastructure, aiming to break the resolve of opposition-held territories by making them uninhabitable. Russia's involvement has emboldened the Syrian regime to escalate its own brutal tactics, with Moscow often providing diplomatic cover at the United Nations to block investigations or accountability efforts. Iranian militia in Sarakib built an underground network. It doesn't seem to be completed, though. The importance of this area and even more Aleppo for Tehran was extremely high. Syria is crucial to Iran due to its strategic, ideological, and geopolitical significance. As a key ally, Syria serves as a vital link in Iran's axis of resistance, connecting Tehran to Hezbollah in Lebanon and providing a land corridor for arms and influence throughout the region. This relationship strengthens Iran's ability to project power against Israel and counter U.S. and Sunni Arab influence in the Middle East. Syria also offers Iran access to Mediterranean ports, enhancing its regional economic and military presence. If Iran were to retreat from Syria, it would lose a cornerstone of its regional strategy. The land corridor to Hezbollah would be severed, weakening its proxy's capacity to deter or confront Israel. This would disrupt Iran's supply chain of weapons and resources to allies, diminishing its influence in Lebanon and reducing its leverage in the broader Middle East. Additionally, a withdrawal could embolden Iran's rivals, including Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Israel, to increase their own influence in Syria, potentially shifting the regional power balance. Domestically, it might be seen as a sign of weakness, leading to discontent among Iranian hardliners and questioning the regime's broader regional ambitions.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.